All right, boys and girls, we back. Just wanted to go over a trade plan that I put out on Friday, March 5th, on my Twitter, and it was GME. It was GameStop. Who wasn't talking about GameStop, right? But the play worked out really well. So I just wanted to kind of go through the thought process here, even for myself, and see if we can kind of glean why I thought that this was a good potential trade. And it really just boils down to couple simple things. One, a couple conditions needed to be met before it was just a setup. That was first and foremost. I just put it out there. I said, look, if X, Y, and Z happens, if it's above 121, if it's 141 in an up market, meaning SPY's up, tech is doing okay, that kind of thing. I I wanted to be in this. I thought GameStop could explode, and I'll go over the reasons why here on the charts. The main reason was a couple things that the Fed had finally on Friday. Bank of America had come out and finally admitted that the Fed was doing yield curve control and wasn't essentially they were going to stave off the massive rally on the 10-year yield effectively. And I don't know the complications. I mean, there's a lot of complexities in how they do that. They buy, I guess, longer dated yields, bonds, and sell the shorter ones. It helps kind of balance the yield curve. Anyways, the market, that's what the market was waiting for because everybody was freaking out about inflation. They were selling tech like crazy, and that was what was causing the market to correct like it was and be super volatile. But on Friday, it wasn't as bad. So Friday, I was like, okay, I think they finally put the bottom in, at least temporarily, on this situation that the market was dealing with. So let's look at GameStop. This is what I've been watching all week. I've been watching GameStonk, and March 1st, March 1st through 5th, this is the week here. So here's the week. So March 1st through March 5th. Basically like, you know, this price action right here. Okay. So put that in your head here. We're gonna put that in your head. Let's do this. Let's copy it here. This is the price action of GME on a 1 hour. So I'm gonna put that to the side for a sec. We're gonna go look at SPY. Now let's go take a look at SPY here for March 1st. So it opens up. I'm just gonna go do this March 5th all the way till here. Okay. This was last week. All of this. Now there was a lot of money to be made if you knew what you were doing, at least in the markets. But this was what you had last week. So now compare that to this. So this versus this. Nice steady uptrend. Now let's look at the daily. So you get that in your mind. This is, just a crazy move. And then you had a nice steady uptrend for GameStop. Okay, keep that in your head. And then we're going to go look at GameStop's daily here. So here's the price action for that period of time. Okay, on the daily. So keep that in your head. Same period of time on the daily for the SPY. Do you see the difference here? What I was thinking, and hopefully this gives you guys some ideas on how to come up with a setup, but my thinking was if they put the bottom in on GameStop, if they put a bottom in on the markets effectively, then GameStop is going to rip because through all of that, GameStop was basically trying to rip at every candle, but because the market sucked, it was keeping it down. This was my thinking, anyways. I don't know. There's probably more market factors in play, but this was my thinking on it. Basically, it's trying to rip, but the market's being annoying. They're worried about stuff, so investors are doing other things other than selling or other than buying GameStop. They're not selling GameStop. but they're not buying it. So it's just a steady, trend higher with little pops here and there, but it never really sells off hard like the rest of the market does. So because of this right here, I was thinking, okay, they might have put the bottom in. Let's set up a play. If that's the case, then GameStop's going to rip. And so on Friday night, that's why I went ahead and I was like, okay, well, let's look at the levels on GameStop, and we'll see what kind of action we can see on GameStop, what the levels are. So, and I don't even remember how I came up with these levels. I was just looking at the chart. I was looking at like this level here. I wanted to be over the weekly open, and I was looking at my pivot points. Here's my 180, 185, 186 level, blah, blah, blah. So I came up with my levels and my triggers and stuff like that. But that was the idea behind the GameStop trade that I was in pretty much all week. And, and I even parlayed some of that into AMC, as AMC kind of had a similar setup. It wasn't as good as GameStop. As you can see here, here's the week. And this kind of trailed the market, kind of did the same thing where it was up and then just ended down. But GameStop wasn't the same. GameStop was up all week. Every single day was pretty much green. So I was definitely more interested in that, being that is the main catalyst for all these meme stocks. So that was the play with GameStop. Just wanted to highlight that since it's been a while since I did a video, and I wanted you guys to kind of see the thought process there. Now, as far as coming up with levels and things like that, you guys know I just use pivot points. So, last week as I was coming up with these levels, it was just using a combination of, the weekly opens and highs and lows and closes, and then pivot points to just kind of come up with levels. Just looking at the daily chart, it's kind of seeing the range. I had an idea that it could go to 294. I didn't put that out. Let's see here. I put something out there where I was like, it's going to 294 before it ran to 294. And that was just, so here's my first one, I guess. There's a nice little feed of it. But anyways, the point is, you guys get to see kind of the play there, how to come up with a play. And then, and also, I did the same thing with Boeing. Boeing had one bad day last week, but then recovered really nicely. So in my mind, I was like, okay, as garbage as Boeing is as a stock, it didn't really sell off that hard. And so I set up something similar for Boeing for myself. I didn't put it out in a tweet, but I was like, okay, this thing's going to rip. So just an idea of, if you watch the markets on a daily basis and you're seeing stocks that are strong, even when the market's, cratering 100 points, and, you see a stock that, if the market was good, would be up 5 or 10 points, but it's, down 1 or flat or maybe even up 1 while the market's way down, then definitely start looking at that stock, because that just means that people aren't really selling it, but they're just not really buying it. So it's just kind of sitting there flat. The market's just waiting to be good again so that they can buy it. And that'll be the stock that people kind of run to. So that's it. Anyways, thanks for everything, guys. Like, subscribe, and leave me some comments. Peace.